television show invites you to speak live with Piscataway's Mayor Brian Waller and his guests on the first Monday of each month. To speak with the mayor, call 562-2305. Mayor Waller is ready to take your calls.
Good evening and welcome to I Am Piscataway. This is Wednesday, July 6th, and we're on the air live. If you would like to speak with me or my guests, please call us at any time during this hour-long program at 732-562-2305. My guest this evening includes Freeholder Director David B. Craybill and Freeholder Camille Fernicola. Freeholder Craybill served for 8 years as a councilman in Milltown and was then elected mayor in 1967, where he served for 11 years, before being appointed as the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders. Elected and re-elected to this office, he served as a freeholder through 1991 and was again elected in 1993 and is currently the Freeholder Director. Along with his many other awards, Freeholder Craybill was the recipient of the prestigious Charles Lindbergh Transportation Award given by the state of New Jersey. He is also the founder of Craybill Inc., which operates 5 funeral homes in central Jersey. And welcome to the show, Freeholder.
Glad to be here, Mayor.
Thank you. My second guest this evening includes Piscataway resident, Middlesex County Freeholder Camille Fernicola. As most Piscataway residents may remember, Camille was a very able member of the Piscataway Township Council for 15 years and was elected to the chosen Board of Freeholders in 1997. Freeholder Fernicola oversees the Middlesex County Engineering and Planning Departments, which includes, among others, solid waste management, utility authorities, and water resource management. As a strong and vocal advocate of safe access for pedestrian and bicyclists, she created the Bicycle Pedestrian Task Force in 1997, and Camille is also the regional manager in the Office of Community Relations for the New Jersey Department of Transportation. Welcome to the show, Freeholder.
Thank you, Mayor. It's good to be here.
It's great to see my former council colleague back here on the set, and obviously for the first time ever, the Freeholder Director here, and not on this show, but not in the studio. You've been in the studio before. There's a lot of great things going on in Middlesex County in the year 2005, and I thought it would be a prime opportunity to have both of you distinguished guests to come on and tell the residents of Piscataway, but also the other people watching and the viewership here of what's going on in Middlesex County. So I don't know who wants to take the first crack at this, to what's going on. Camille, do you want to take we'll get, since you're the hometown resident here.
Thank you. I think one of the shining stars in our whole program is our open space and farmland preservation program. And to date, we have preserved over 6,000 acres throughout the county. And I've noticed since I came on board as a freeholder that in the beginning we'd get larger parcels, mostly in Southern County, and we preserved thousands of acres down, Monroe, Plainsboro, Cranberry, very nice parcels. And now the parcels are getting smaller, but in places like South Brunswick, we're still picking up 90, 100 acres at a time. And in the 9 years since I've been freeholder, that open space, any land has been gobbled up at a tremendous rate. So everybody wants to come to Middlesex County.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Freeholder Director, the Middlesex County was one of the first counties in the state to start the actual, other than outside of the farmland preservation, but the actual acquisition of properties for open space.
Well, Monmouth County I'm jealous of because they were the first one, I believe, and we followed their lead. And we've had 2 referendums that were voted overwhelmingly by the good citizens of Middlesex County to have the program, and we raise about $15 million a year for the program, but we also have gone out and borrowed $80 million, so we have enough money to acquire whatever we can. We don't like to condemn. We don't like to take land that is polluted. So we want reasonably clean land, and of course that's been our approach throughout the county. We also have added to the program where we're now to help some places that really don't have any land that can be acquired, and I speak like a Perth Amboy.
I noticed Woodbridge just recently received for some park improvements.
We've gone to a park improvement program so that we will give money to a municipality out of the open space fund for the development of local parks, and that's been very successful, particularly with the 25 mayors of our county.
Now, if I remember, the number is 732-562-2305. My guest this evening is Middlesex County Freeholder Director Dave Crabiel, and also my former colleague and freeholder Camille Fernicola from Piscataway. Go ahead, Camille.
I was going to say, the county has also rehabilitated a tremendous amount of waterfront in Middlesex County, and especially in Old Bridge and South Amboy. Well, you have to go through South Amboy, but the Raritan Bay Park is physically in a little piece of Sayreville that comes along and meets South Amboy. It is so beautiful, I can't tell you, and I'm so proud whenever I go out there and we have a dedication, a ribbon cutting. Freeholder Crabiel, when I first was running for freeholder with him, we were running mates. We've always been running mates. And he took me out to what is now the Raritan Bay Waterfront Park in Sayreville through South Amboy. And it was so dirty, and there were those weed grasses all over, and residue, and
debris that came down.
Debris and people dumping. And he told me about his vision for what this park would be. And now it's got gazebos, playgrounds, ball fields. It's absolutely marvelous.
And if you notice if you go through the National Association of Counties and the U.S. Conference of Mayors, one of the things that they're trying to push in various towns is that the waterfront property, they're trying to reclaim it for public use.
Yes.
And I think the Middlesex County's done a great job down in the waterfront, down in Perth Amboy, Sayreville. I know there's some things going on in Old Bridge and South Amboy, Edison.
Coming along with
things
their
like
waterfront.
that. Now, I know, Freeholder, you might want to mention something about, I know you have great visions for the city of New Brunswick.
Well, our heritage goes back to 1683, when the Crown of England decreed first in 1681 Burlington County, and then Middlesex, Monmouth, and Essex and Bergen counties. So we predate the birth of our nation, you might say. And the river was a great asset at that time. And our dream now is to bring it back to the way that it was and make it a great asset in the county. And we're moving in a 5-year period the Raritan River right up to the Albany Street Bridge in New Brunswick, and then hopefully beyond alongside of Piscataway, Johnson Park, and going to the borough of Middlesex. Our dream is that the whole Raritan River will be cleaned up, and I believe that will be a reality in a 5-year period.
I know several months ago, Mayor Cahill was on the show, and he's very excited about that. I think that would be not only tremendous assets for the city of New Brunswick, but the borough of Highland Park and also
Piscataway. Right.
We're going to be able to take a boat from down in Sandy Hook and come right up to the Albany Street Bridge. We're going to be dredging this fall, hopefully, enough so that yachts can get through there, and they'll be able to go to restaurants in downtown New Brunswick and beyond, and then go back by water. So it's going to be a great asset.
And then they can jump on their bicycle and ride around the park.
I was just going to mention that. I know as part of the overall expansion, the Route 18 within the city of New Brunswick, there's going to be substantial ramping for bicycling. I know you've been a lead advocate, Camille, in the county in regards to pedestrian and bicycle-friendly roadways.
And I got my training in Piscataway.
There.
Piscataway has, for many years, had this excellent bicycle commission, bike ped commission, that reports to the mayor. And I was on that for many years, even, well, before I was a council person, after I was a council person. And I am a very strong believer in the bike ped experience. You know, it's not only gets you there, but it's very healthy in the meanwhile.
And the federal government is actually pushing monies
Absolutely.
towards that now, as alternative means of transportation, not only from a health point of view, but also but environmental friendly.
Right.
We have a transportation coordinating committee in the county. Camille is the liaison from the Freeholder Board to that entity. I was privileged to be the charter chairman of it, and that entity meeting once a month just keeps on track of not only bicycle ways, but the entire transportation programs in the county. And incidentally, Mayor, through your leadership, 25 projects are ongoing at the present time in intersection improvements and bridge improvements in Piscataway, and we're proud of that, your stewardship on getting that done.
That's a work in conjunction with the Board of Chosen Freeholders to ultimately rebuild the entire county road network system in Piscataway Township, because as any mayor will tell you, time is money, and especially with companies that are in town and just the average citizens getting from point A to point B safely, and then children walking to and from the school.
Yes.
And I like to thank the freeholders for recognizing that, and that's a commitment and partnership that obviously myself and the town council and the residents have made.
I'll tell you one thing. We are working with the city of New Brunswick to try to help them make the city more pedestrian friendly, because those people in the cars, they don't care who's in the way. They just ram right through. And we don't want any pedestrian fatalities. We don't want any fatalities, especially in bike ped. So we have given them a grant to upgrade their pedestrian safety in the city of New Brunswick with Freeholder Crabiel, and the rest of the freeholders have supported that. And I hope that that will be an annual grant that we could give out to towns to help make the intersections
safer. And I know pushing
through
the North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority, I know that Mr. Ververides in the county planning department obviously has been very vocal about that.
George never misses a meeting.
No, he doesn't. No, he does not. There.
We are blessed with good
employees. And if I'll remind the residents, the number is 732-562-2305. My guest this evening is the Freeholder Director of Middlesex County, David Crabiel, and also Freeholder Camille Fernicola, who's also happened, by the way, is a Piscataway resident. One of the two things I know on behalf that the county's been pushing for with the help of Piscataway is with the North Jersey Transportation Planning Authority is the expansion of making the South Washington Avenue interchange on 287 a full interchange, and also widening the bridge over 287 on Old New Brunswick Road. And I really cannot appreciate, I truly do appreciate the actual help that the freeholders have given us, because you're in competition with 11 other counties in the state for X amount of pot of federal money. And
well, and you're in competition with the 24 other municipalities in Middlesex County, the greatest county in the land. But other mayors are plugging for their projects as well. But we have a special interest in Piscataway, and it's certainly in the heart of Middlesex County.
Now, with that, we are going to go to some videotape, but when we come back, we're going to talk about some other key county subjects that I know my guests are just chomping at the bit to talk about.
We've got a lot to talk about.
So with that, we'll let the staff cue up some videotape that happened recently in Piscataway. This was a roundtable discussion sponsored by Congressman Frank Pallone with Senator Smith, who chairs the Senate Environmental Committee for the state of New Jersey, members of the Rescue Squad, Office of Emergency Management, members of the chemical petro industry. We're talking about chemical safety at the chemical factories from watching from terrorists. And if you look at today's papers, it's a very hot topic, especially in the state of New Jersey. And I'd like to thank Senator Smith and also Congressman Pallone for trying to lead the fight with Senator Corzine on that for chemical petro safety. I think the industry actually recognizes that there's a problem out there, and they want to work with the governmental leaders to assure residents of our state that every precaution is being taken, that something catastrophic does not happen due to a terrorist act. But you're going to be hearing more about that in the coming months and years, because that is a burgeoning topic. And I know myself, being involved with the Homeland Security Task Force with the Mayor's Conference, That's a very big discussion item. So I want to remind the viewers, number 732-562-2305. My guest this evening is Freeholder Director David B. Craybill, and also my good friend and colleague, former colleague on the Town Council, but currently the freeholder out of Piscataway, Camille Fernicola. One of the things, freeholder, I know you're one of the very proponent about austere budgets there. And I know you have an interesting fact to tell our residents and the rest of the county residents. Is it the only governmental authority unit in the state of New Jersey?
Well, the freeholders this year, in 2005, cut the levy. Not the tax rate now I'm not talking about. I'm talking to the actual money to be spent. Cut it $157,000. Less, the budget is less than it was a year ago. And there are 20 other counties in New Jersey. There are 566 municipalities, and there are 560 school boards. And if you add that all together, it's 1,100 units. We are the only one in the state of New Jersey, the only governmental unit that actually cut the levy in 2005, and your freeholders are proud of it.
Well, I'm just amazed because with a county of 700 plus,
almost 800,000
residents, and there's always obviously very demanding needs.
We're the third largest in the state, only exceeded by Essex and Bergen, and in a 5-year period, we will have more people than Essex because some of the people in Essex are moving out.
And they know the quality of the parks.
Yes.
Right there, and I'm sure if
we've got the 19 good county parks and the equivalent of 4 golf courses, and we've preserved 3,500 acres of farmland, permanently preserved in the county, and that's a real plus as well.
And we're going to come back and talk about that. Right. We do have a series of tapes that we're going to be showing, because obviously June was a very busy month in Piscataway Township, and we're going to go to the video feed here with the next tape. And I'd like to publicly thank State Senator Smith, Assemblyman Egan, and Shevacola for attaining the grant monies. What's interesting about this building here today is it takes care of two issues. One, it was an eyesore at the abandoned gas station, and the other issue is that this was paid for with no bonding money. This is paid through grant monies through the town, which is very unique. It took a long time, about 4.5 years, to get where we are here today. I think this facility is going to be wonderful for the community over here. I know our police department's very excited about being housed over here. I'm working with, and the Chief Harris is going to talk about that. But I can't say enough. In conjunction with some of the improvements that are going to happen next year, with the reconstruction of West 5th and West 4th Street out here next year, we're bringing Arbor back together again, and that's what government should be all about. To provide, I'm a firm believer that no matter what part of town you live in, you should be able to live safely in. And in working with Chief Harris, and I believe we have the best police department in the state of New Jersey, and in working obviously with our council members, our county freeholder, and our state representatives, we can achieve that. And it's a team effort, not just by the government officials here today, but from you, more importantly, the residents. And with that, we'd like to introduce Assemblyman Egan, who's pitching for our State Senator Bob Smith today. Assemblyman.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everybody, on a beautiful day like this. Good morning. You know, today you hear a lot, they use a lot of phrase words today, and win-win you hear a lot. You even hear it on television. And this is certainly a win-win, not only for you, the residents of Piscataway, and the mayor and the council who works so very hard. Senator Smith, Prentice Shevacola, my fellow assemblyman, we were very happy to get involved in this because this is what communities like Piscataway need. To provide a sense of security for the neighborhood, provide a safer place to work and live in area, and not only that, it provides for the police department a place for them to operate out of and to respond to situations that are needed. I know that in the future this is going to be a very outstanding facility, and I know this is going to be a model for the other towns around, so they're all going to be looking for these grants. Unfortunately, as you know, we're working on the state budget now, and things are not as great as they should be. But let me assure you that this is a great project. We're very proud to be part of it. I'm happy to represent Senator Smith and Assemblyman Shevacola today. I want to wish all the fathers a very happy Father's Day and enjoy the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. This area has been asking for an increase in police presence for many years. And I'd like to thank everyone who already went and spoke, and everyone else who was involved, for helping make this building a reality. An increased police presence can mean a number of things, including more patrol cars, a police substation, or what we have here, a community policing building. Police officers have a number of roles, and to me, the more patrol cars in the area or a police substation emphasizes their role as the enforcer of discipline. And that's not always a happy role, especially if you're the one getting the discipline. You may need it, but it may not be happy. By contrast, officers involved in community policing emphasize a different police role. They do get out of the police car, they talk with people, and they help prevent problems before they happen. Hopefully this will present a much more positive and more balanced view of our police department. You often hear the police officer is your friend, and I heard that when I was in school. The police officer really is your friend, but I want to emphasize that friendship is a two-way street. Children who try and avoid the police whenever they see them, as I did when I was a child, and I occasionally ride in police cars and see the children still almost make a game of, here comes a police car, I should hide. Children who do that will never get to know the police, and so they will never become friends with them. In conclusion, I want to tell you that when I was growing up in Piscataway, I did not know the name of a single police officer. I hope the residents and the children in this area will know the names of all our community policing officers.
2, 3. All right. Hey! And that was indeed a wonderful day for the township residents, and particularly the residents over in the Arbor area. I know, Freeholder, you were there in attendance at the ribbon cutting ceremony. There was also a ribbon cutting ceremony down in Old Bridge, too, for a new county park facility, which we'll talk about in a few minutes.
And Camille got the both.
That's very impressive,
I was
Camille.
burning up the highways.
Yes, you were.
You didn't speed either.
No. One of the things I would like to mention, again, thank on behalf of the residents of Piscataway, Senator Smith, Senator Menegan, and Chevacola for obtaining that grant money for the town to get that site cleaned up. And I can't say enough to thank them because as Senator Menegan said on the tape, it's highly competitive to get those DEP grants. And we were very fortunate enough through their leadership to get that money. And also, I'd like to thank the other council members for showing up. Loretta Keimal, Steve Kahn, and obviously Mark Hardenberg, who's his ward, and Jim Euban and Jim Stewart, and even former councilman Ken Saunders was there,
Reverend
and Millie
Saunders.
Scott and Ken Armwood.
Yes.
So we do have another videotape here, believe it or not, and this is tape 3 we're going to run through here this evening. So let's go to that videotape. This, I don't know if many of the residents have been down at the high school football field area yet. It's under reconstruction right now. They're actually almost finished with 90% of it right now. The track is going to be renovated. This is some clips here of showing installing a new field turf, working in conjunction with the Board of Education. Freeholder, a lot of people, Piscataway residents, use that track and facilities for exercise purposes. Pedestrian walking every day. Actually, there's roughly about 400 people registered to our adult walking club that use the facilities down there, especially during the spring and summer. And it is absolutely gorgeous. It's very interesting how they put this together. But when it's finished, we're going to have the state-of-the-art facility, the envy of any high school team or school system in there, to say the least. But that's what it's all about. So everybody in the township residents can use this. This is, for those of you who don't know, this is what they call field turf, and this is what was installed up at Giant Stadium and Rutgers Stadium. So it's very low.
It has sponge bounce.
Yes, it does. It can handle up to 14 inches of water in a 24-hour period, which is an awful lot of water.
How about when you fall on it? Do you
Oh,
bounce
no
back?
problem. It's actually, believe it or not, it's actually safer than natural
Okay.
grass.
Good.
So, and the best part about it, there's about a 20-year lifespan, and very
don't
low
have to cut
very
it.
low maintenance. No need to water it, and no need to fertilize it. Very wonderful project there that's ongoing. I'd like to thank Kevin Donovan from our Director of Recreation for helping quarterback this project. It wasn't easy. A lot of research went into this. It's not done yet. We're expecting it to be finished sometime around in the first or second week of August, because the high school track is actually going to be reconstructed too.
Beautiful.
But a lot of people were on it down at the 4th of July fireworks, and they just loved being on that field.
Good.
So those are just some of the things that are going on right now. And I look forward to the fall for the first home game to have a formal ribbon cutting ceremony right there. And of course, we want to make sure the football team wins that night too.
Yes. Invite us.
Yes, absolutely. We do have some other clip that's going to run right into this very momentarily. Here. That's actually pellets that they're actually spraying onto the field that goes right into the construction. You have the gravel base, and then it's actually rubberized pellets that go in and sink in, and then they fluff it into the field, and that's what gives it. For many of you over in the Newmarket area off Stelton Road, we're actually working in conjunction with the county in regards to reconstructing Stelton Road. And one of the projects right here is that we acquired the 2 parcels here, the abandoned gas station. And what we're going to do is put a pocket park there and expand the parking for Westergaard Library over there. And the thought to that is that we want to get more of the residents to come down and patronize the local mom and pop businesses. Maybe they can come down there, have an ice cream or slice of pizza or a sandwich, and they'll have benches to sit along on the roadway off to the side in a nice park, or bicycle up to it. And but this will be the first phase where we can actually build that. And we did receive a grant from the county through under leadership of Freeholder Paulus. He started a program for towns, I guess the Downtown Improvement Program.
Grants, yes.
And this is part of the money is going to be used to construct this little pocket park.
We give out about $5 million a year to municipalities on that program.
Well, this is the fruits of the actual construction. And we did receive about $300,000 in state grant money. And then it's a little tricky project because the county has to reconstruct the roads too. So a lot of coordination's involved, but
I just passed that area today, and it's all flattened out. All
Yes,
the
it
debris
is.
is gone. It looks very nice.
and a lot of people are thankful that those 2 eyesores are now down and out of the way, and they look forward to the improvements that are going to come about in that section of Stelton Road.
Good job.
And one of the things probably we should talk about, recycling. I know every Wednesday, like today was Wednesday was recycling for my section of town, and you might want to explain a little bit how the county recycling program works.
Well, through the Middlesex County Improvement Authority, for every municipality and home in that municipality, you get charged maybe $1.25 for each home, and the vendor comes around with the truck and loads up newspapers, plastics, cans, what else?
You
Glass.
name it. Actually, even used clothes.
Yes,
Used
a
clothes you put in
cardboard
back.
tied up. They'll take it. And it's such a wonderful program. And we have terrific participation by the members of the community in Piscataway and all over Middlesex County that for about 9 years in a row, we have exceeded the state mandate of 60%
I think
recycling.
Middlesex County is probably #1 in the state for
We
or
have
close
been
to
number
it.
1 for quite a few years. Just Hunterdon County beat us out recently because, I don't know, they knocked down a huge building and they counted all that towards their
Well, but if you
tonnage.
think about it, there's no question. There's nothing against the folks out in Hunterdon County, but with the amount of people that are in Middlesex County versus Hunterdon County and the percentage of recycling, it's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
But the fear is the state funding started out all right, and then the state of New Jersey has cut the funding. And if it wasn't for the Middlesex County Utilities Authority advancing money to the Improvement Authority,
Okay.
because the Improvement Authority does not raise any money on its own in its own way, that program would have gone by the wayside. And it's a plus in another way, that the landfill, where the solid waste goes, the garbage goes, will continue for 19 years, where if you didn't have the recycling program, it would shorten that life expectancy, and that would mean we would have a problem on where to dispose of our garbage ahead of the 19 years.
There'd be a question about either shipping it out or an incinerator or
Right.
something that are a combination of both.
Yeah. And we recycle tires, and we've also
Batteries.
got
I mean, there's a lot of
batteries.
days roving.
Paint cans.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
oil
paint.
and stuff like that. So then we get special grants to recycle computers, old computers, and television sets and electronics. So we've got such great things happening. And we also give out grants to schools and associations to clean. Sometimes they want to be good citizens,
It's like
and
Clean's
they'll
Community,
get a couple of $100, and they'll get their membership together and clean the road and to collect all the debris. And it happens here in Piscataway too. Your Boy Scouts and Girl
Yes,
Scouts clean
we
up
have a lot of
around the
very
Market
active
Pond.
Clean's community.
So things are doing very well. In
You know, you
Middlesex
talk
County.
about schools and education, and it was Freeholder Palomina from neighboring South Plainfield who came up with the idea to put a computer in every school in the county, public school, parochial school, or private school. And we've provided over a 5-year period $5 million, and that program is ongoing at the present time, and has been a benefit to our schools. And now we are starting a program on defibrillators that every school in the county will have a defibrillator, which will save somebody's life in the county. So it's a good program.
You just touched on a very good subject, and I want to get to that in a second. The number is 732-562-2305. My guest this evening is the Middlesex County Freeholder Director Dave Craybill, and also Freeholder Camille Fernicola. The county college system, you might want to touch upon that. I know it's classified probably as one of the premier county college in the country. So you might want to mention a few words about the county college.
Well, it's just getting better all the time. And now we even have a program which through the vocational schools have the technical and scientific program that they are on campus over at Middlesex County. And when they finish their specialized education in technical and science, they can roll right into the Middlesex County system, the college system, and without any trauma, when they go from one school system to the next.
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think you also had the first graduating class or second graduating
The second graduating class was just a week ago, and 32 students that graduated, and all but 4 are going to universities throughout the country, which we're quite proud of. And it's called the Academy for Engineering and Mathematics and Science Technologies. It's on the campus of the county college. Most successful. It's a good program.
The county vote tech system. That's another.
We had the first vocational school in the nation, 1914, right in the city of New Brunswick, and we now have 4 plus 4 county vocational schools. It's a great program, and it's known throughout the East, beyond New Jersey, as one of the greatest systems around on educating our young.
And it's not just about educating young students who might want to go into the trades, but also you have, I know Loretta Keimel, one of our council members, is an instructor in the adult education end of it for the county vote tech system. It's the people who either have lost a job or want to have a career change, that they're in the latter.
And our building trades
Yes.
make use of it in their apprenticeship program and use the vote tech system. And then we go to those graduations where, let's say, electrician, after 4, 5, 6 years, I believe, becomes a full-fledged electrician, and that's a major plus.
And that's going to be one of the keys that I know why the corporations, they locate in Middlesex County in this area is because the education of the residents. And in order to keep that level of education up there, you have to have a university, which we're proud of. We have Rutgers University located here, but also a county college system as a farm team to get the people where they have to go.
And the campus of the county college is so beautiful. Anybody who hasn't been over there should just take a ride over to campus, because there's not another campus around that equals the Middlesex County College.
And with that, we're going to go to our monthly announcements. For the month of July, the Cultural Arts Advisory Commission has scheduled their summer concert in the park, Possumtown Park, on Sunday, July 10th, starting at 4 p.m. Hunter Hayes is in a return engagement, and will once again have you dancing barefoot in the park with his smooth, upbeat vocals. Bring a blanket or a chair and swing with the Hunter and Eunice Peterson up to the pop standards. In the event of rain, the concert will be held in the municipal building at 455 Hose Lane. Wednesday morning Shape Up continues in Westergaard Library during the month of July from 10 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. Also, we have the 205 Summer Foreign Film Festival that begins Thursday, July 7th at 6:30 p.m. at JFK Library. Free tickets are available at Kennedy, Westergaard, and at the Bookmobile 2 weeks prior to each film. Pick up a newsletter at the library and check the library's website for the listing and descriptions of the summer's films. Two of our township's 26 parks, Possumtown and Riverside, require group picnic permits. Permits are available, spaces available for nonprofit Piscataway family, civic, and corporate picnics through September 18th, 2005. Forms are available in the Recreation Department. The number to call is 732-562-2382. Residents are reminded that the township does not pick up grass and strongly advocates Middlesex County Cut It and Leave It program. A reminder also that brush, logs, and limbs brought to the recycling trash center or picked up by appointment cannot be more than 4 inches in diameter. We appreciate our residents' cooperation in this matter. A free day at the ballpark for veterans and their families, sponsored by the Somerset Patriots in partnership with UBHC and Veterans New Jersey for You and the New Jersey Department of Military Veterans Affairs. Invite you to attend the Patriots and the Ducks game on Monday, the 25th of July, starting at 7:05. For tickets and information, call 1-866-838-7654. The Community Policing Division of the Police Department will sponsor a National Night Out on Tuesday, August 2nd from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. The event will be held at the Community Policing Substation at 1601 West 4th Street in the Township. Police officers, volunteer fire companies, volunteer rescue squads will be present. National Night Out was introduced in 1994 as an effort to heighten awareness and strengthen participation in local crime-fighting efforts. For more information, call 562-2354. And also check out the 3 new programs on PCTV. Friendship Set to Music airs on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. and Thursdays 6:30 p.m. Also, Cooking Time airs on Tuesdays 8:30 p.m. and Thursdays at 1:30 p.m. And Destinations Tomorrow airs on Friday at 8:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 7 p.m. And the next Eye on Piscataway on PCTV Channel 22 is Monday, August 8th. This July program will be rebroadcast on Mondays at 8 p.m. and Fridays and Sundays at 7 p.m. And that concludes our monthly announcements for here in the month of July. And we do have a caller, I believe, on line 1. I believe this is Ken. Welcome to Eye on Piscataway, Ken.
Good evening, Mayor. The reason for my call has to do with the fact that we're going to have a very active hurricane season this year, and even with the tropical storm that's headed our way for Friday time frame with the heavy rains. My question has to do with responsibility for cleaning the grates and the curb area that leads to the grates. Just walking this past holiday in the areas around Knollwood, I noticed that there was a lot of debris around the grates as well as leading to them, leaves, twigs, and so on.
We, if you mind, Ken, I'll explain the program that's going to be happening, and I'll let you go, okay?
Thank you.
All right. One of the things with, I know the county and both the town municipalities that's go through the stormwater management programs now, the Department of Environmental Protection and also the EPA is being more aggressive about municipalities and corporations to clean these storm grates for water runoff going into the system. I know we periodically, twice a year, we have private contractors that do come out and sweep all the township streets. I mean, there's about 500 roadway miles, and I know there's a heck of a lot more in the county road network system. That is one of the issues that we're going to have to tackle, Ken, because right now we only have one street sweeper in Piscataway that the town Public Works Department has and rely on private contractors, but they will be getting over to your area. They've started over in the Arbor in the New Market section 2 weeks ago, and I think probably within the next 3 weeks they should be in your neck of the woods. But would leads to another question, Freeholder. I don't know what the county's going to have to do. I know that we're looking at our capital budget for this coming year to purchase for an additional street sweeper that we're going to need in order to meet the requirements of the stormwater regulations. I mean, it's a great idea, but like anything else, there's only so much money to go around to purchase equipment and keep on top of things like that.
Well, in January, that's when we start discussing the 2006 budget, and each year we do discuss equipment for the municipalities, and we do provide some equipment that can be used by the municipalities. We haven't done street sweepers yet, but we'll certainly take a look at it, I'm sure.
I'm sure there's going to be a mad rush on that now with the new federal and state regulations.
You know, we have 341 miles of well-maintained county roads, so we have an obligation to maintain those as well, which we do.
And the Improvement Authority helps municipalities buy equipment as far as fronting the money.
It's through their Common Sense program, if I remember. I know that Freeholder
Polis and through the financing, too.
Right, through financing.
We allowed municipalities to get in, and it saves them money on the lower interest rate.
Just for the residents' information, a lot of programs through the Middlesex County Improvement Authority, the municipalities can tie on to some of the big contracts that, like for instance, asphalt or anything along that nature, or different supplies. I mean, if it's not on their state contract, I know the Improvement Authority started that program, and it's been very successful in regards to that. It saved the towns and the county a lot of money.
Right.
In regards to that. No different than as somebody Ken just called up, and we have a cooperative agreement with 15 other towns in the county purchasing leaf bags, which we're out to bid on currently.
Freeholder Polis has been a leader in that whole crusade for helping the municipalities on shared services.
Especially that he was a mayor of a small town. You know, it benefits small towns especially.
Now, one of the things before we're going to go to some more announcements, but I would like to come back about the more fiscal stability of the county, and I think this needs to be talked about a little bit further. And we do have another tape. It's actually to July 4th, thanking the corporations who participated in the Lake Nelson, I should say, the Lake Nelson parade. We had a little, it's been going on for 50 plus years, and this is some little video feed that was taken actually on 4th of July. As you can see, this is a neighborhood parade here that normally starts out on Nelson Place and South Lakeside Drive, and ultimately goes out onto Metler's Lane, and then around the bend there, and around North Lakeside Drive, and ends up at Jeffrey Byrne Park. For those of you that don't know, Byrne Park is named after Jeffrey Byrne, who was a Piscataway resident who was killed in action in Vietnam. He grew up in the Lake Nelson section, and that's who the park is named after. And the parade's been going on before that park was named, but I think it's a fact that it's just all the neighborhood residents with their children coming out. We have the North Stelton Fire Company that provides a little of the fire equipment there. We also, I know if you see coming up in the clip here, you see Councilwoman Keimel, Ken Armwood, Councilman at Large, Councilman Hardenberg, and Councilman Kahn there marching the parade also. And it's a very interesting, all the kids decorating their bicycles and their wagons, and some of the events that they hold down at the park. It's a wonderful day. Absolutely, and for a good reason, celebrating America's independence. And I think that's my son that's sitting there on the corner there, so I'm waving away. But it's very good, and here's some of our volunteer firemen coming up here from District 4, North Stelton.
Looks like everybody marches, right? There's nobody
absolutely.
On the sidelines.
Everybody marches. There's no doubt about that. And they do give some rides to the residents in the fire trucks afterwards. See how their tax dollars are being spent. And the firemen, the fire personnel and rescue personnel are very good about showing the residents a lot of things. And with that, I'd like to go back. The number is 732-562-2305, and my guest this evening is Freeholder Director David Crabule, and obviously Camille Frenicola, who's also a Piscataway resident.
Yes.
Freeholder, Middlesex, I know Piscataway Township has our bond rate because of I want to couch this maybe the frugalness or the watching the tax dollar that the Middlesex County has always been a leader and very efficient form of government and has been noted for that. And you might want to elaborate on that.
Well, we're the second lowest per capita tax. The cost of county government, we're the second lowest in the state of New Jersey, only exceeded by Bergen County. And I, for one, I chair the Administration and Finance Department of our county government, and I know I speak for Freeholder Frenicola and our Freeholder colleagues. We won't rest until we're number one on that issue. But we also are a AAA credit rated county. We have a AAA credit rating from Standard & Poor's. We had one from Moody's, and we got downgraded just a hair to a strong AA because they wanted us to put $30 million in the bank and leave it there, and we felt that was wrong. We keep a retained surplus about $18 million, but we thought that was wrong because that would only penalize our taxpayers, our property taxpayers. So we did not do that, but we are a AAA credit rated county, and we're proud of that.
And I think in tandem, I know our Piscataway Township's one of the only few municipalities in the state that are actually AAA.
Congratulations.
And a lot of it that people say, well, who cares whether you're a AA or 1A or AAA? But at the end of the day, when you have to go out and bond out and borrow money for the project,
well, it saves our property taxpayers at the school board level and at the business level and municipal level. It saves them thousands of dollars because we are a AAA credit rated county, and I'm sure it's the same way with Piscataway.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's also like a report card on how well the town, the county do as far as managing their money.
And then that's the key in this day and age with dwindling resources and people always watching a while as we as elected officials, whether you're on the county or the municipal level.
And we're way below the cap restriction. We've always stayed lower than the state cap restriction, and that's a plus for our taxpayers as well.
That's good. Are there any other subjects that you would like to?
Well, I'm going
to probably do a couple hours show here.
I'm going to get chastised if I don't say anything about the Middlesex Greenway.
Oh, absolutely.
And,
go ahead.
That's one of our, what we call, it's a 3-acre linear park, and it's for bicycling, jogging, walking, and it goes through 3 Middlesex County towns, Metuchen, Edison, and Woodbridge. And it's, we just had the ribbon cutting about 3 weeks ago.
Is that the one I believe that you acquired the old rights-of-way off the railroad?
Yes, it's an abandoned railroad bed, and we're developing it for community use. That's a wonderful thing. Another great thing that we have in Middlesex County are the plays in the park. Yeah. Right now, Miss Saigon is playing over there at Roosevelt Park.
You don't even have to go to New York.
It is what a show they put on.
And we had 2,500 people there Saturday night. There's anywhere from 1,500 to 2,500 every night that the place in the park is on, and
they bring
it's a
their
great.
chairs.
That's been going on for about 30 plus years.
Credit to Pete Delina. Pete Delina chairs that department, Parks and Recreation, from the largest municipality, Woodbridge. But we also have our ice skating rink, which we created, the level playing field.
I was at the dedication for that down in Roosevelt Park.
So that those who have disabilities are able to be participants in sports and not just spectators. And we're proud of that whole program over at Roosevelt Park.
Roosevelt Care Center.
Absolutely.
The long-term care center.
180 beds, brand new, state-of-the-art. Can't be beat.
Oh, it is gorgeous. It's like a resort, I mean, we also voted a little more money to staggering the rooms so they don't look like hospital rooms, and two people to a unit, but there is a wall that folds into there's
accordion wall.
Like an accordion wall, right, that closes up if one of them wants privacy. And there are wonderful community areas and TVs and fireplaces, libraries. It's just great.
I'd like to just say a word, Mayor, about Homeland Security, because Middlesex County is a leader on Homeland Security. You were a part of a recent test that we had in the county, and others were.
Actually, where Secretary Chertoff attended.
But we made a decision that the prosecutor, Bruce Kaplan, would be in charge if there is a terrorist attack. And once he determines it's not terrorist and maybe an accident or what have you, then he turns it over to Office of Emergency Management. And Freeholder Rafano is the liaison in that whole program. Because we're so close to Newark Airport, Carteret being right next to Union County, so close, we fear that something could happen here. The Parkway and the Turnpike intercept in our county, but we are prepared for a disaster. We trust that it never will come. We pray it never will come, but we're prepared if it does come.
I know, speaking of that, I know the county health department has a mobile decontamination chamber that can handle up to 10,000 people after X amount of hours going through there at the training exercise. And I think Dave Pappy, I believe, gets a lot of credit for working with all the county health departments and coordinating that.
He's the director of public health.
Yes.
Yeah, didn't we have our unit go over to New York on 9/11 and later?
9/11,
They
some
helped
of our people went
decontaminate.
to New York.
Yes.
Right. We also have so many environmental programs going on in the county. Many people don't know about it, but there's the urban forestry program when we give grants to communities to reforest areas or landscape areas around schools, public buildings and all. We have water resources management.
And
I've got a whole
we're going to
list of
talk
things.
about the fire training center with that. We got to go to two more tapes. We're going to go to the first tape right now,
Okay.
and this has to do with the corporate sponsors who help sponsor the 4th of July festivities down at the Piscataway High School, and obviously our wonderful.
Have a wonderful 4th and a safe summer.
On behalf of everyone at Hapag-Lloyd America, we'd like to wish all of our friends in Piscataway a happy 4th of July and a safe summer.
Happy 4th of July.
Hi, all the employees of Quick Check, River Road, Stelton Road, and William Street would like to take this opportunity to wish you a happy and safe summer.
Have a safe summer and a happy 4th of July.
On behalf of everyone here at Piscataway ShopRite, we would like to wish everyone a very happy 4th of July and a very safe summer.
Happy 4th of July from SSY Technologies in Piscataway, New Jersey. We're a world-class manufacturing company.
And while we work hard, we also know how to have fun. And with our growth, we're also hiring. Happy 4th.
Have a wonderful 4th of July and a safe summer season from all of us at Yardville National Bank.
25 years ago, I didn't think would it be so possible to be in this great township here. This is 25 years later, and more specifically 21 that the building has been up and moved in Roma in this location, and many thanks to the community because they're really, we find a great support from everybody. But more important is to 50 years in business, and almost a good percentage of it we have spent here in Piscataway, New Jersey. It's a wonderful town to be in. So I want to wish everybody a happy 4th of July, but more important, happy summer and a safe one. Have a wonderful time.
And I'd like to congratulate the Roma Foods and Mr. Piacone family from their 50th anniversary. In this day and age, when you have a company lasting more than 50 years, that's that doesn't happen too often with the mergers and everything else.
I remember when the Italian-American Club in North Brunswick honored the gentleman that you're talking
Mr.
about.
Piacone, yeah. But I know the family's been very actively involved in
I was there when
Piscataway.
they opened that building, too. And they had Julius LaRosa, Frankie Avalon. It was wonderful.
Well, you remember everything back there, Freeholder.
Well, I remember things long ago, but I don't know what I did yesterday.
No, but once again, thank you for all the corporate sponsors who helped out this year as usual, and we really appreciate, on behalf of the residents, we really appreciate everything that they've done for us. The Fire Training Academy, you might want to touch upon that.
I was very much involved in that, and Dorothy Power was the freeholder from Piscataway who really pushed for the fire training. It was supposed to be a $3 million project. It ended up over $20 million, but it's something that we can be proud of. It's used by our fire departments, whether it be paid departments or volunteers for training. We're just doing a burn building, which will be dedicated this fall. And it's amazing when you go down there, the number of groups that are using the Fire Training Academy located in Saraville, but it's a great academy.
And I really appreciate on behalf of the volunteer firemen and rescue personnel in Piscataway and all the towns of Middlesex County to thank the Board of Chosen Freeholders for making a correct decision on that one,
And
especially in this day and age.
Michael Gallagher, who's the son of Mayor Gallagher in South Plainfield, runs that whole program.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And with that, we're going to be wrapping it up because we're going to leave you with some fireworks display that we're taking on the 4th down at the football stadium in Piscataway. I'd like to thank Freeholder Camille Frenicola, who's good to see you as always, Camille, and the Freeholder Director for coming on the show here
Very
today.
nice to be here.
And we look forward to seeing you on the trail.
Thank you for having me.
With that, with everybody, happy, safe, and cool July this summer.
Are you ready for a show? All right.